in my mind at the beginning, I was thinking, what am I going to do now? I didn't really take it in until I was actually there myself. I didn't know anything proper. I still don't, but hello everyone. Welcome back to the Ricky2ra podcast, episode 45. That's right, people. I hope you are all doing well, keeping safe, and yeah, just overall in good health. We're back with another episode. I'm not going to lie, when I was setting up, because it's getting just brighter on the morning now, we're heading into, the summer slowly towards June time. I know we're still in February, but February's nearly over if you think about it. We're nearly there, just one more week, but we're slowly heading into summer, so it's lightening up out there now in the morning. And this particular time when I was just setting up, it just reminded me of the first and second episode where I just sat here and just talked really, and it was just like, I don't know, it just gave me that same feeling. Like I felt a bit nervous, like hitting record and stuff, but we're here. It's kind of like coming full circle really, this podcast. And I'll tell you why in a second, but for the first reason is that, it's getting lighter, meaning that, I recorded this in about April time, my first episode, and we're nearly there. And second is just that I don't know what else to talk about. Like, if I'm being really honest with you, I feel like I started talking about just stuff about me to get you guys to know about me, and hopefully you guys do know a little bit more about me as a person, as a performer, and I just started telling stories really. And I probably do have more stories, but I just need to brainstorm them all down, and that's probably the thing I haven't been doing. So maybe that might be something for the weekend or for the future. But yeah, it was quite hard this time to put down stuff that I want to talk about, and just keep you guys interested as well. And it's kind of like it's evolved from me telling stories to me telling you what I like, what I don't like. I give some hints of tips and advice here and there, just from what I've experienced. What else did I do? I started talking about TV shows, and yeah, I just started progressing really, and it started evolving, this podcast. So I was thinking, what can I talk about today? And I've actually crossed a couple of stuff out, and I'm still going to change the subject for one of the things that I've written down, because I've already talked about it. So I'm going to talk about something that I may have talked about before, but very briefly, and this is just at the top of my head. So I'm going to surprise you all today, and not go through the 4 topics, and I'm going to just start off with this freestyle that I've got, because I've not got it down. It just came in my mind this morning, and I thought, you know what, I haven't talked about this. So you know what, just to make it easier for you guys, let me freestyle this first, and then I'll tell you the other 3 things I'm talking about after. Okay, so bear with me, because this is a good one, hopefully, that I'm about to talk about. So before I start, it's very bright outside. There's a few clouds here and there, but it's not going to rain. That's Weatherman Rick done. You know we got added, right? But yeah, let me jump straight into this first topic, and it is, how do I stay motivated? That's the topic that I thought in my head this morning. Probably about, not even going to lie, probably about half an hour ago. I said to myself, you know what, this particular thing that I wrote down on my notes, I said it's not very helpful, and I've talked about it before, and I'm just going to keep repeating myself. So I think I've talked about on the podcast episode that I was unmotivated, that I didn't really feel like creating didn't really feel like doing anything, and I've had times like that many times after that. But I haven't really talked about what keeps me motivated. So yeah, what is it? What does keep me motivated? Well, magic is for one keeps me motivated. I've got loads of packs of cards on my table that I just mess about with from time to time if I need to. It just keeps me busy. And this is just off the top of my head, guys. So if it sounds like I'm thinking, that's exactly what I'm doing. Other things that keep me motivated, I just like to plan stuff out. I'm a big planner, so if I don't know what I'm doing, I like to write stuff that's in my head down onto my notepad or type it up on my phone, just to see what the hell's going on in my brain, and then I kind of see how I can solve that stuff. But otherwise, it's kind of just like knowing what your end goal is really. And I kind of know what mine is. I love doing magic, and I've always wanted a show to display my journey, and these things that I'd like to show magic wise, but not just like a TV show, but something bigger than that. So that's kind of like the end goal for that I'm kind of working up to, and kind of growing the brand more out of that really, because I'm just like this at the moment, tiny. Slowly, because I'm being very patient, I'm gonna grow all this. So that's kind of like the end goal. But so that keeps me motivated. It keeps me on track of what I need to do in order to get there. And also, if I haven't really been feeling the magic, because I did say like I love doing magic and playing cards and stuff, what if that doesn't motivate me anymore? Well, I've pretty much shown you what I've done, because there has been times where magic, especially since this pandemic started last year, I was thinking to myself, well, all my gigs are cancelled. I can't go out anywhere and perform. What else is there to do? Because showing magic to people up close on stage, that's the fundamental basically of a performer. You're performing for people, and with that stripped back and gone, in my mind at the beginning I was thinking, what am I going to do now? And to keep myself motivated after something like that, especially a passion of mine that's kind of been taken away from me unexpectedly, temperamental, by the way, not permanently. I thought to myself, well, my passion's gone for now. What's left? Why I'm not motivated? My end goal was to do this and to expand it. What do I do now? So that's why I started a podcast. That's why I started YouTube. That's why I started the vlogs. Everything that I've talked about before in this podcast. And it motivated me to do other things, and that's why you haven't been seeing as much magic stuff, because it balances itself out. I have been practicing magic in the background, but I haven't shown you guys enough of it. But that's kind of what motivates me. It's a nice balance. Like, if I don't want to do the magic during this pandemic, I've got the podcast, I've got other stuff. If I don't want to do the podcast, I've got the vlogs and stuff. If I don't want to do the vlogs, I've got the sweet review and stuff. I'm going to talk about something about the sweet review at the end of this podcast anyway. But yeah, if I don't have the sweet review, I can go back to the magic. It kind of juggles itself out and balances itself out. So I kind of try and do different things to motivate myself as well, especially new things as well. So like I was thinking last night when I was putting these ideas down, I was thinking, what else is there to talk about on this podcast? Because it's just me and you guys. And I was thinking, you know what, I might just need to switch the podcast up a little bit, because it's evolved, especially from the first episode. I was thinking, what can I do to take it to the next level now? So that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Because I'm pretty comfortable now talking to you guys, and I do want to take it to a next level. So it kind of, I always want to try something else, either bigger in the same thing, or wider, as in trying other things as well. So that's how I try and stay motivated. Anyway, put that aside. Just YouTube videos in general. If you are feeling unmotivated, there's loads of motivational stuff on YouTube that you can watch as well. I know I love watching Gary V, Tony Robbins, Jay Shetty. There's loads of people on YouTube. Who else do I watch? Joe Rogan, David Goggins. There's loads. Robin Sharma, Evan Carmichael. Who else is at the top of my head? There's loads. Will Smith. There's Kevin Hart, The Rock. Everyone. You can, if you just put motivational video in, I'm sure there'll be like a million there for you to choose from. That kind of gives you a temperamental pump of motivation to be like, don't give up, just keep going. So there's loads of stuff as well there. So there's like your passion, trying other things, or expanding the things, or going to new things, or just watching videos and stuff. Just take your mind off what you're unmotivated by, and going into like some sort of like mental pump of motivational content, and then going back to it as well. So that's how I stay motivated as well. And I'm pretty sure I've talked about how to get motivated in this podcast as well. I'll have to look back, but I'm pretty sure I have said how to get motivated. But this is just how I am motivated. So yeah, that's basically it for me. That was at the top of my head. For that, it was much better than the topic that I was going to talk about, because I felt like I haven't talked about this before. But yeah, just things that I like to do, or I'm very curious in. That's how I stay motivated, really, as well. Trying to do it bigger or better, or doing other things as well. So I hope that's helped you more than me, or gives you some sort of idea as well, how I stay motivated, and maybe you can adapt some things for yourself as well. Like I always say in this podcast, I'm not an expert at anything. I'm a learner in everything. So I kind of talk from what I've done or been through. I know for the people that listen to this, you've heard it 100 times from me. But when I put stuff on social media and stuff like that, I'm not an expert. Like, I talk about stuff that I've just been through. So if it comes across as like, if I put something like a card move, or I think I put something last week on Instagram saying sleight of hand, there needs to be a purpose for it. It's something that I've done previously. Like, I don't want other people to think of it in a different way. Like, who's this kid talking about this? Like, I'm only talking about stuff that I've been through. So I just want to clear that up as well. So this whole motivated stuff is personally from me, from what I've done, not something that I've just read online 2 minutes before the podcast started and me just telling you guys, regurgitating it. And these are like proper steps that I've done as well. So I just want to clear that up for everyone as well. So yeah, that was how I motivate myself, and that was quite an interesting one. I enjoyed that, actually, even though I freestyled that. But yeah, let's give you guys an update of what we're going to talk about now, since I've got that out of the way. So, what are we going to talk about after that? We are going to talk about... Okay, Zoom. I redid the name, sorry. So, Zoom is the future. Yes, that's one topic. WandaVision EP6, that's right. And filming, how I got into filming as well. I'm going to leave that one for the end. Yeah, I'm going to go in the exact order that I've done, actually. So, yeah, let's jump into Zoom is the future. So, you're probably thinking, Rick, what are you talking about? So, if for those 1% of people that do not know what Zoom is, it is a video platform where you connect with other people and you talk basically online. So it's like you see each other over video, really. Kind of like Skype, kind of like MSN back in the day, if you had a webcam and a microphone. Remember them days, right? Jeez. But yeah, so I don't actually, since this pandemic started, I didn't actually use Zoom that much. I had it installed on my computer, and I think I used it one time prior this whole pandemic started, but I didn't use that Zoom that much because I work in retail as well. The magic was gone anyway, so I wasn't going out performing. I was in the shop in the family business for the majority of the time, so there was no real reason to use Zoom. And if I was to talk to friends and stuff, I was using Instagram video anyway, so I wasn't really using my computer for Zoom. So it was kind of like, what's the big hype? From my point of view, it's like, what's the big hype for Zoom? Because I've seen loads of people just use it, and I've seen like Facebook videos, Instagram videos of people like interviewing people over Zoom, talking over Zoom. I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, I didn't pay much attention to it as well. And it wasn't until this Monday. So this Monday, I got invited to a Magic Monday Zoom meeting with loads of magicians. And shout out to Luke Jonas for inviting me to that as well. I thoroughly enjoyed it, actually, as well. I get quite nervous being around other people, even though I've talked in this podcast episode, like, I try and build my confidence up. I'm just naturally shy when I'm around new people, and it takes me a while just to get out of my shell, especially when I'm not doing magic. When I've got the cards in front of me, like, it's calm, it's good, but like, especially other magicians as well, I'm just in my own shell, and then I'll slowly get out. So I was kind of like absorbing everything in that meeting, which was, I 100% enjoyed, by the way. But the whole Zoom aspect of it, there was quite a few. I think there was about 16 of us, and I was thinking, wow, because there was everybody from like different parts of the country there. I was thinking, this is crazy, man. I never really thought of it like this. And I know I'm like, maybe I'm going a bit over the top with this because I knew this was happening. Like, I know this was a thing, but I didn't really like take it in until I was actually there myself. I was thinking, this is amazing. Like, imagine if we didn't have the technology during the pandemic, what the hell would we do? And I was thinking, wow, Zoom really is the future, right? It got me thinking after as well, how much time is going to be saved by just using Zoom. Like, yo, I've got a meeting at 9 a.m. No, it's cool. Like, we just do it over Zoom, wake up, have some breakfast, hop on Zoom, the meeting's there. Just make it for 9. Like, you know how much travel time, expenses and stuff like that? It just makes me think, like, wow, a simple thing like that is going to save so much time and money and be more efficient at the same time. And that's why most magicians now are performing on Zoom. Because imagine that, like, for me, for a gig, I get booked and then I travel to the location. It could be local, it could be further away. So that costs time and money. And then I'm performing and then I'm going back home. Doing it over Zoom, get out of bed, get my magic effects ready, get the link for Zoom, boom, I'm there, boom, I'm out. Don't need to travel anywhere, saves time. So that's an amazing thing about it. that really kind of put it in perspective for me. Yeah, so it's crazy going back onto the whole technology thing. Yeah, imagine what we would do without technology. Imagine if this pandemic was like 200 years ago or something like that. Like, imagine, I don't know how people, like, obviously it was a different time probably back then, so it was those other things probably keeping people company, but in this day and age, like, technology is the number one thing, so so yeah, it just made me think really. But Zoom really is, and I know I'll be using Zoom now, frequently, or as much as I can, to catch up with people, because I didn't realise like you could fit that many people in a screen and stuff. Obviously I know you've got to pay to have more people in, but in the free one you can have a certain amount of people in, so it was quite good. I quite enjoyed it. I think using it for myself, being in a scenario like the Magic Mondays meeting kind of really set in perspective for me. So yeah, you guys are probably thinking, Ricky, you're talking nonsense, but hey, I just wanted to share that on the podcast, right? Just to let you know, if you guys haven't used it, I'm sure you all have, but if you haven't used it, definitely try it out. Talk to a friend or someone on it. It's actually pretty good. So yeah, I've only used it to practice my magic sometimes on, because you can start your own meeting, and then when you end it, it saves the video. Depending on if you want to record it or not, I always record it. It helps me a ton really if I don't actually want to practice my magic using this camera that I'm using to record it for YouTube, this podcast. If I don't want to set that up, usually if I'm here at my desk, I just hit record, and it's so much easier as well. So you can use it in that aspect as well, if you're practicing something. So yeah, that was just a quick topic, but a fun one as well, that put things in perspective for me. So I hope this was fun to listen to, really. So yeah, that was Zoom is the future. Oh, I don't have a coffee with me today, actually. I drank it before I started the show today, because I felt like it might have been interrupting last week's flow when I was editing last week's episode. I just want to clear up, by the way, before I get onto the WandaVision topic, that the podcast is moving to Thursdays. So I'm going to release the audio on a Wednesday, but because now I'm trying to use my time more efficiently, and if I do everything in the same day, it really does take up a lot of my time, and I have to rush the content that I'm creating as well. So I'd rather get the audio out on a Wednesday, and then on Thursday I've already uploaded it on YouTube in the morning, and then I can create content out of the podcast and release it on the same day as well. I find that more efficient for me, rather than doing everything in the same day, because I've got other things to do in the day as well. So I just wanted to clear that up for last week for people who watch on YouTube, why it wasn't out. I did put it on Twitter, but I didn't really share it on all the socials. But yeah, so it's out on a Thursday, the video form, but the audio form, if you normally listen to audio form, it'll be out as normal on a Wednesday. And also subscribe to the YouTube channel, please. Subscribe. I think like 60 to 70% don't subscribe to watch my content. Like, I appreciate it, but like I really am putting work in to the YouTube channel. Just from 2020 alone up till now, I've hit over 100 videos. From 2015 or whenever I started YouTube, I've done 100 plus videos now. But from when did I start? From February 2020 to now, February 2021, I've just done about over 100 videos from my comeback on YouTube. So I really do appreciate, even if it's one person, like I don't mind, but I just hope you enjoy the content anyway. But I looked at the statistics, that's right, and yeah, it just showed me that there was a lot more people that weren't subscribed that were watching, which is cool. I'm cool with it, but it's just like, if you're here more often, you might as well just hit the subscribe button. So yeah, and I do appreciate all the podcast listeners as well. I love you all. So yeah, let's jump into WandaVision episode 5. I'm sure it was 5 actually. Let me put up the IMDb information actually for WandaVision to see if I've got this right. No, see, look, I told you I got it wrong. Episode 6, sorry. Let's talk about WandaVision episode 6. Episode 5 was last week. So, WandaVision is just, what can I say? It's just amazing, right? So, episode 6, I put WTF as the first thing on my notes. I think this whole series is a big WTF. But it was a Halloween episode anyway. And on the information thing on IMDb, it says disturbances on Halloween separate Wanda from Vision, who looks into an anomalous activity in Westview. So yeah, spoilers. It's going to be spoilers now. That was just the info. I'm about to spoil it. So if you haven't watched WandaVision episode 6, please skip this right now. So yeah, it was a Halloween episode, and Vision was kind of like, yeah, I'm out. Like, I just want to... I'm on duty, but really he wasn't. And he got out of the hex, really, and he started disintegrating. Like, the hex was trying to pull his body in, but his body was just going apart. Wanda was with Pietro, her brother apparently, and the brother acted sus throughout the whole episode. So I'm kind of unsure whether that actually is her brother, is it somebody else, or is it just some sort of version that Wanda is projecting? Who knows? Wanda's kids find their abilities in this episode. One kid can run fast, the other kid can use telepathic powers, just like the mum, which we do see. Photon is mentioned again. The powers of... I'm really bad at names, man. I need to update them. I've said the names in previous episodes. What's her name? Monica Rambeau. Darcy shows her blood structure or something like that is changing when she enters and goes out of the hex. So that's kind of like a mention to her powers as Photon. Wanda is OP, basically. When Vision was like dying basically outside of Westview, she just used her magic, sorcery, whatever you want to call it, and expanded the hex. And that was probably the WTF of that episode, was the ending when she expanded the whole hex, really, because all of the military and everything like that, whatever you want to call it, the FBI, whatever, when she expanded that and they were all like coming out, like trying to get away from it, all the people that didn't make it got sucked into the hex as it expanded, and there was like military cars that turned into like hot dog trucks, and like helicopters that turned into like hot air balloons, and obviously Darcy got handcuffed onto a car when she was trying to save Vision, so she obviously got sucked in, and we do not know what her character is going to be. So they've saved that into the next episode, as we didn't see what she turned into. But yeah, it leaves me wondering so many questions for what's going to happen. Like, it's been a whole mind like blowing situation, like what is going to happen, because when you want things answered, the TV show's like, nah, I'm just going to put more questions there for you. So I hope at the end of these episodes, all of them are going to be answered. Like, I don't care if like episodes 7 and 8 lead to more questions. I just, in episode 9, if they just do the whole episode just answering all the questions, it's a great closure for me. But yeah, so there's only 3 episodes left. Episode 7's this Friday, then episode 8 and 9 the Fridays after. So yeah, it leaves me wondering And I've heard rumours about, like, because they've only been like 30 minutes, the episodes, 30 to 40 minutes. I was wondering, and like, there's all these memes and stuff of like the credits are like 20 minutes anyway. The credits are, but they take up a little bit of the episode. But it leaves me wondering, will the last 3 episodes be an hour long, 45 minutes, 50 minutes long? Who knows? But apparently it's been confirmed by Kevin Feige, apparently, from what I've read. But we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, there's nothing else to talk about WandaVision, really. It's kind of like made my Fridays, really. As well, I posted something on TikTok from last week or the week after's episodes, saying why I don't normally post on a Friday. It's because I'm waiting for WandaVision, really. It's kind of been the highlight of a Friday night. So yeah, it's a sick TV show, really. So I would recommend it if you're still here listening. If you're still listening here, I'm guessing you already watched it. So yeah, that was WandaVision episode 6. Okay, so let me turn my camera on and off so I can sort this out, because I know it normally stops after 29 minutes, nearly after 30 minutes. So I'm going to finish this episode off with filming. How did I get into filming? I'm not a professional filmer, nothing like that. I'm just telling you how I just got into like recording myself and stuff like that, because I've talked about me like documenting loads of stuff, these 80 plus videos that I've mentioned previously on the podcast and stuff like that, but I've never actually mentioned or talked about to you guys like what I've done like prior to that. Like how did I start filming? Like, did I start filming on my phone? What did I start doing? So I got a camera on my 18th birthday, right? So yeah, I got it because I really wanted a camera to record all my magic. And as soon as I got it, I just started recording anything, really. I started recording how I practiced my magic. I started recording my dog outside. I just started recording whatever I could, really. And I put it into Final Cut. No, did I have Final Cut then? No, I had iMovie then. So I started putting it in iMovie and messing about with it and stuff like that. I had a chewing gum video that I put my camera, I've talked about this before, but I'll just briefly let you know. Put it on my cupboard, recorded a chewing gum video. That was like one of the first that I used my camera with. And then I started filming like cardistry videos and stuff like that. I didn't have a tripod at the time, so I'd always lean my camera on something. So yeah, that's kind of how I got into filming. I didn't know anything like proper. I still don't, but I didn't really know any like special stuff. I just hit record and just hope for the best. So yeah, I was quite happy that I got it, because I always wanted to put content out, whether that be just magic or cardistry or just practicing something. It was more of the first two rather than the practicing part. But I always have some sort of photos or videos, really, and I've got it all. It would be like a cool throwback if I ever wanted to post stuff. Like, I know last year in 2020 I posted quite a lot of throwback stuff, of stuff that I've just found of me recording or taking a photo of, which ages quite well actually, as well, and it does make me think in the moment that I can write about stuff under it as well for my Instagram posts and stuff. But yeah, that's mainly how I got into filming, really. And from there I started filming me doing magic to other people. You saw the Ricky2ra video from that video. I've still got it. The camera's still there. Like, you guys are watching it now on YouTube. Like, it's still the same camera. It's like, how old is it? 6 years old nearly, the camera. So it's still going strong, and I'm still like evolving how I'm filming stuff. Like, that camera started off from me recording a chewing gum trick to recording a podcast episode now. Like, it's been used for so many things, magic wise, vlog wise, you know, you name it. So So yeah, that's basically just how I got into it. I just wanted to film my magic, and I wanted a quality camera as well. I don't know much about cameras, but I wanted something that has like the flip thing that flipped out, so because I can see the screen and me recording. I wanted something like that, and that's basically it. As long as it had that, I was happy. So I'm happy with what I've got still, and it's still going strong. Fingers crossed. So I don't really need to get another one. So yeah, that's basically how I got into filming, really, because I used to have like a flip one before, and if you look back on my YouTube video, that I think it's Magic in Leeds or something like that. It's one of the early videos of this YouTube channel. I got my mate Tom, shout out to Tom, to record on it. It was like a bloggy HD flip camera, and the quality was just horrendous. So if you look at the quality on that video, it wasn't great, but that's what I used to use beforehand. I got that, and that was 2015. No, that was 2014. So that was the end of 2014, I think. I remember performing at an event. So yeah, the quality's definitely changed. But that is that's basically it, guys. That's the topics for today. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. I'd just like to say thank you to everybody that does listen to this podcast. I really do appreciate it. It's something that I always love doing, and we're nearly hitting the 50 mark now. I feel like I can talk about it because this is the 45th episode. Next week's the 46th. We're nearly like under 5 weeks left till we hit the 50 mark. So I've got to put some ideas of what I want to do for that as well. But I really do appreciate it, because I know people do listen to this, and whoever's listening, I do really appreciate you for the support and the listen as well. And if you ever do, or if you do go onto my YouTube channel, I appreciate that support as well. So I'm going to love you, but I'm going to leave you here. I will see you all next week. So thank you for listening. Make sure to like, rate, subscribe to Apple Podcast, Spotify, any podcast platform that you're listening on, my YouTube channel. Make sure you do all of that. I will see you guys next week. So have a great day or night, wherever you are.